most likely no Mutalisks on the way.
Yeah, one thing I want to note is that we do have the same amount of workers here exactly right now. I think we've had pretty similar for the entire game. And so I was a little worried because we do have the same amount of roaches, and of course now the worker numbers are changing a little bit. But I do...
Right, but you have a second hatchery, though, so you would definitely catch up over time,
yeah, for
too.
sure. I definitely have drones mining there, so most efficient as possible. And one thing I want to note is I did have a spore crawler in my base, which I canceled because I saw that there was no spire. Just finished my Hydralisk in, and so that's what I'm going to be working on just a little bit. And now I'm not cool enough to get a second queen, though, because I don't know about you, HD, but when I play Zerg, I am always low on minerals, which is different than in StarCraft 1, where it's vice versa. But I don't know, maybe I'm just a big Zerg noob. But yeah, right now I do have my second hatchery, and I am in good shape.
Yeah, you definitely are in good shape after killing my hatchery, but usually what you want to do is this is for all the players who play Zerg, is you want to get a couple overlords to spew creep or use creep tumors like you're doing so well right here. And then just kind of use your queen to go back and forth between the hatcheries spawning larvae, because one queen is all you need for 2 hatcheries. So you're doing that pretty well right now. I don't know if you're using the spawn larva, though, because that queen has 150 energy. What is going on here?
She is a lazy queen, man. She just is hanging out. I do want to mention...
Yeah, she's letting the drones do all the work
Seriously,
for her.
I do want to mention I'm getting Burrow. Not that I have the APM for that, but I do have Burrow on the way. HD's APM is definitely way past mine. Not nearly double, but way more close than I'm comfortable with. But since I do have the defense and the extra expansion, you're just now getting your hatchery once again. The income, I'm just going to go ahead and look at. Yeah, my income is owning you right now simply because I do have, now I have more workers, as well as each worker really has their own mineral patch, which is crucial in Zerg versus Zerg if you can get that expansion up. So it looks like you're trying to take a peek in here. I don't know if you should attack here, though, so I do think you back out.
Yeah, and right now I actually saw 2 spine crawlers right in front of your base, too, so I knew that you have a lot of defense. I saw that with the Overlord, actually. So I know that I wasn't going to get in through the front door. So, like all men do, going for the back door. What do you feel about this? Because you do have an Overlord there, so you probably knew that I was coming.
Yeah, I do have the Overlord there, so I saw those rocks were there, and I'm moving my spine crawlers up my little creep highway up here. They look so funny when they're running back and forth. But then I see that you switch positions, so I'm trying to get my spine crawlers in a good position to defend. This is one thing that if you have them, you might as well use them where you can. I put one on the high ledge. He's not quite in range of anything. But we do have a pretty epic battle here going on, and it seems like I'm actually at a disadvantage. You have more Hydralisks, but I have a few more roaches, but the static defense is really making the difference in that battle. He's already got 2 kills, and they do a lot of damage to the roaches. Keep in mind that spine crawlers do 20 damage plus 10 damage against armored, so they're actually surprisingly effective against holding off roaches, as now you can see your army is a little more Hydralisk heavy, and gonna kill that poor Overlord. He never hurt a soul. And I think that I'm actually going to try and move my spine crawlers back up here again in time, and yes, I am.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to move into your main base right here with these Hydralisks, and we'll see what kind of damage I can do. I think I might be a little bit behind on the replay, but I am moving in here, and I'm going to go ahead and let you take over because I think I'm off sync.
I'm currently at 1535, and what you're doing right now is you just killed my Roach Warren. And that really sucks in Zerg versus Zerg, but I do have the Broodlings chasing you down from that building going down, and now we have a game-decisive battle here on the high ground, and I don't think any of us do have upgrades, but me surviving with a couple extra roaches, which really absorb a lot of the shots from the Hydralisks, and even the roaches getting a few last kills there before they sacrifice themselves to my cause. And so I am going to chase you down here and also shoot down this Overlord while you simultaneously shoot down one of my Overlords. And so really we're back up to the same amount of drones again. Just so you know, I'm at 1630 right now, just so you can get caught up. And I definitely think I won that battle, but we do have the same amount of drones and the income fairly similar here, although you are still a little bit behind because of your drone placement.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, I feel like I'm a little bit behind, A, because I lost that hatchery early on, and B, in that battle, I was hoping to do some economic damage, but unfortunately, you know, you're playing well, and you actually warded me off, and now you're actually kind of going with a Hydra Ling army. I don't see any more roaches coming out of your eggs, so it could, I don't know, it could be the turning point if you don't have any roaches to really tank that damage, so we'll see what happens as the game continues to progress. And one thing to keep in mind is I am getting an evolution chamber because upgrades do matter a lot, especially for Hydras. I think someone pointed out that Hydras actually get +2 damage for weapons upgrades. Can you confirm that, Husky?
Well, we will find out a little bit later because I do have my attack upgrade on the way. I don't know that much about Zerg simply because I do not play them that often. But just looking at the units lost, the numbers are fairly similar. It's just you have lost more costly units. You're about to lose another Overlord here as well. And so at least... Yeah, at least the army size cost has been in my favor. Basically, I haven't lost those more expensive units as much as you have, but I do have a bunch of Zerglings now, and like you said, I do have a very Hydra-heavy army, simply because that Roach Warren died, and I don't have the APM man to make another Roach Warren. And look at these Zerglings running around in a circle, trying to find a spot to attack that hatchery. Am going to have to back out, and getting an Overseer, that's pretty interesting. Why'd you get that?
Oh, well, usually you want to get an Overseer in ZvZ because you assume the opponent is going to get some burrow and going to do some micro with the Roach burrow, but apparently now there's not going to be any more Roaches, and I was actually kind of scared there because I thought your Zerglings were going to stay on that hatchery. You probably would have taken it down, but it doesn't matter because Hydras are going to come in, get a speed boost on my own creep, which I really dislike, and I'm going to try to ward you off here, but keep in mind, meanwhile, at my main, there's actually some Zerglings just going around and killing all my drones. Man, this is one tough situation for me to be in. Two-pronged attack, and now I'm actually getting squeezed in so my hatchery at my natural has died twice now, and I'm definitely way, way far behind right now.
Yeah, it's funny that you remembered I sent those Zerglings in there, even though I was the one who actually did it. I didn't catch a glimpse of it, but just looking at the units now, at the unit counting station, he has 6 drones, I have 19, so that just shows you how many I was able to kill. And it looks like I do have my 1 upgrade done now for my Hydralisk, which brings him up to 13 damage, which apparently they only get 1. So whoever told you that is an absolute noob. But either way, the Hydralisk shoots so fast that the 1 attack upgrade is still, it can make a huge difference here, because every shot is an extra damage, and considering that I have 12 Hydralisks, that is quite a lot of damage that adds up and definitely swings that battle into my favor. You are going to tap out right here. So I do win game number 2 somehow on my off race against your main, but either way, we are now tied 1-1, and I will give you the closing words, but man, I am going to own you in game number 3.
Husky, can I please get some Zerg lessons, because apparently you are the new Zerg king.